Have you ever really stopped to think about what the very first step is when someone creates a truly great product? You probably picture a designer, pencil in hand, making some beautiful, perfect sketch. But the real beginning? It's actually somewhere completely different. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly what that surprising first step is. So let me just ask you, when you imagine a designer hard at work, what do you see? Is it someone nailing a perfect drawing on their very first try? It's a really common image, right? But as we're about to find out, that's not really the whole story. Not even close. Okay, so let's just flip this whole idea on its head. Great design doesn't begin with being a great artist. It begins with being a great thinker. A sketch isn't supposed to be a final masterpiece. It's just a tool. It's for getting ideas out of your head and onto paper, for exploring all the weird possibilities, and for communicating with your team. It's really about starting a conversation, not creating a perfect piece of art. And that brings us to our first really big idea here, the incredible power of a messy sketch. The real magic happens when you start thinking with a pencil long before you ever worry about making things look pretty or polished. This definition really gets right to the heart of it. Notice the words that jump out, rapidly and numerous. The goal isn't one perfect drawing. Nope, it's about churning out a whole bunch of possibilities and doing it fast, just to see what sticks. You know, you can think of it like this. Your first sketches are basically a playground for your brain. The whole point is to capture ideas, see how they can evolve, and be totally okay with throwing them away if they don't work. At this early stage, speed is always more important than polish. Always. So, if the first step isn't drawing, then what in the world is it? Well, it's this: defining the job. Before a designer even dreams about what something looks like, they have to know, without a doubt, what it does. This is the absolute core principle of design. Function always comes before form. And to make this super clear, we're going to bring it down to earth with a simple, everyday object: a lunchbox. I mean, we all get what a lunchbox is, which makes it the perfect example for seeing these big professional design principles in action. So before a designer even thinks about what a new lunchbox might look like, they ask these three fundamental questions. First, what is its main job, its function? Second, what drives people crazy about existing lunchboxes? What are the pain points? And third, based on that, what are our actual goals for making a better one? Let's actually do it right now. The main job? Well, obviously it's to keep your food safe. No more squished sandwiches, right? But we can go deeper. It needs to be easy to carry. A pain to clean is a deal breaker. Maybe it even needs to be designed for the specific kinds of food you like to bring. By listing out all these needs, we're building a super clear picture of the problem we're trying to solve. Okay, so now we have this clear list of needs. This is where the really creative part begins. We start translating those abstract problems into actual, tangible features. This is how a vague idea starts to become a real solution. And look at how this works. It's almost like a formula. The need to keep food from getting squished directly leads to a feature, a hard shell, or maybe separate compartments. The need to carry it on a hike points us to a durable material and a shoulder strap. See that pattern? Every single feature exists to solve a specific need that we already identified. This step is so important. It's not magic, it's a method. By connecting each need to a feature, you're making sure the final design isn't just cool looking, but that it's actually purposeful. You're essentially building a logical blueprint for your solution before you ever think about color or style. Now, here's the best part. This entire way of thinking, it's not just for professional product designers. It is a seriously powerful framework for solving any kind of problem. So let's talk about how you can actually use this yourself. And here we are, full circle, back to this powerful idea. It's only after you've defined all the needs and brainstormed the features that you finally pick up that pencil. Now is the time to rapidly generate numerous drawings. You aren't hunting for one perfect idea. You're exploring a whole spectrum of them, messy, fast, and wild. This is how you avoid getting trapped by a single bad idea too early on. So look, if you take just one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Great design isn't really an act of artistic genius. It's an act of deliberate problem solving. First, you identify the problem. Then you define the goals. That is the true first step. And that leaves us with one last thought. This framework, it doesn't just apply to physical things like lunchboxes. It could be a clunky workflow at your job, your morning routine, or a frustrating app on your phone. So take a look around. What's the lunchbox in your worlds that's just waiting for a redesign?